us back at the old faithful tunnel. Tried and true. We've begun our exit and entrance into the desert. The first thing we see is this sheep farm that looks like it has a giant cattle and sheep guillotine device or something. I don't really know what that is. Okay. It's just far away, difficult to see with the naked eye. I'm not an expert, but I'm pretty sure those mountains over there are where we're heading. I think we're going to go up the ridge to the right. Just follow the spine. Much like the other side of the road here, we've got to follow a dirt road for the next 7 or 8 miles before we get on trail. And once we're up in the mountains, I'm not sure there will be much shade because it's a lot drier on this side than it was on the other. So it's going to be exposed for the next few days. They do call this area dry desert apparently. It wasn't really planned very well, but it's been hot lately, so I cut the sleeves off my soaked idiot now. I'm afraid I'm going to get fried out here. But oh well. Trying to learn a lesson here a little bit because last kind of rushed to the end, and it's kind of a feedback loop because I feel like you don't enjoy it as much because you're working so hard, and you're working so hard because you're not enjoying it as much. And we looked at the dates and we figured we can slow down a bit, we can relax a bit, and maybe we'll actually enjoy it a little bit in this closing stage more than we would have otherwise. So kind of are just letting off the gas and taking our time. I think to Canada it might add a couple days, but it's not that much difference in the long run. Yeah, in a moment very reminiscent of New Mexico, but clover claims better shade.
This is much better shade. I mean, back in the boot heel, there was nothing. Imagine having this in the boot heel.
Yeah, I mean, there were plenty of other places in New Mexico that were better than this, but we got all this hiding under bushes for lunch. There's some cow shit water right in the mud over there too. We are taking a 4.5 mile alternate route right now because these storms have kind of showed up out of nowhere, and the alternative would be following this ridge line up. I've been hearing a lot of thunder and lightning, so we're gonna go this way because it takes us through this valley. It stays low for a long time and it cuts up at the last minute. We've been lucky enough with storms this hike and we haven't had to do this much, but we're about at tree line, and that storm's still going on with lightning and stuff, so I don't know whether it's better to be under a tree or just not at a high point. So we're just kind of laying down in the bush and hoping it blows over in the next 15 or 20 minutes or so, like some of these storms over this direction did. As hostile as I've got to admit that this is a pretty unique stretch of trail. It's just pretty steep up here and about as exposed as you can think. We seem to have successfully evaded the rain again somehow. Went right around us. It's close. Not today. I've got to show off this immaculate campsite here. Clover's got the premium spot, but we've got our own spring and an empty tub behind here, which Splash is gonna cowboy camp in with the dead rats. But I've got the most disgusting and gluttonous dinner I've ever had on trail. This is a 1,100 milliliter pot to the right with shepherd's pie in it, and this is my 20 jar full of shepherd's pie. And I'm gonna force feed myself with it for the rest of the evening. In totally unrelated news, this is my food bag over here on the ground, and I'm running out of food. I don't know if I'll have a full day's worth of food on the third day when we're kind of gonna be cruising in towards Leadore, but I'll figure that out when it gets to be that time. This is a better view of it. Usually we would not try to camp on water sources like this, but we're in the middle of like a 12-mile ridge walk, which we would not be able to finish before late tonight. And there's nothing flat anywhere remotely around other than this pad right on this water source. So seeing as there's nobody else really around, we just had to claim it. Starting the morning out climbing immediately because today is supposed to be a calf burner. An older couple who's around who did this trail before said this is one of their least favorite climbs on the whole trail. Not because it was that tall or anything, but just because there's these roller coasters of really steep little hills over and over and over for like 10 or 20 miles. And I can see them. So it's gonna be a tough day. Well, we're sick of these puds, so we're doing a bushwhack, just like is in our nature. I think we're gonna save like half a mile in a dumb climb that makes no sense. Basically, we just cut right off the trail and we're going around this kind of ridge, staying more or less on contour, because this valley down here with the trees in the very bottom is eventually where the trail goes. So instead of climbing up this mountain to our left and going over the top of it and then just hairpinning back this direction, we're just gonna save a half a mile and do this. The trail's down there in the valley to the left, so we're just gonna follow this ridge until it gets a little shallower. Then we're just gonna cut down into it around where those trees are. Ladies and gentlemen, what you see before you is a brand new trail. It is not yet completed, but we've been given exclusive access by the trail maintainer who's standing over there to the right to be the first to hike this reroute. It's an incredible honor. I want to thank everybody. Yeah, I want to thank everybody involved for allowing us the opportunity to be the first to destroy this trail, or soil it, as some people say in our YouTube comments. There were like 6 or 7 of those Montana Forest Service kind of people working on that, and it's great that they're doing it. It's making a lot less erosion issues probably in the long run, and a bit easier to hike these sections because these are just straight up and down. But we were talking and thought about, if the CDT had adequate switchbacks, this trail would be like over 4,000 miles long. I don't know if you could ever finish it. For the next couple hours, I think we're going to be going up this little valley over here. You can see a trail on this little hill, and then we're going to follow it all the way up into a pass behind this. can't feel or help but feel like we're back in New Mexico here. What a water source. Clover's been lagging behind because a bush attacked him during his bushwhack. I guess sometimes bushes whack back. Been waiting for him. He's somewhere off in that forest, but he's probably not going to show up to camp until dark, so I'm not willing to wait that long. We're also working with pretty interesting navigation techniques here. It's like dead reckoning. Comments on Far Out say there is no more trail here, and basically just go to the highest tree on the ridge on the horizon. So I'm guessing that's this up here, because otherwise we'd be shit out of luck. We're just gonna bushwhack up to it in a minute. Here we are at the special tree, the indicator tree, but the trail goes on and we must go on too. So I can officially say I'm guilty of the through hiking sin of not packing enough food from town. I may have mentioned earlier, but I've been rationing a little bit. I'm really hungry now. It's probably going to be a ketosis couple days, I think, the next 2 or 3 going into Leadore. And unfortunately, there are no restaurants in Leadore that are open when we'll be there. So it'll be gas station food for me. Usually when I do this dumb shit, somebody I run into eventually is like, oh yeah, I have too much food, you can have some. I would never ask. That's a sin in its own right, because everybody else is on their own rations as well. So they were just smarter than me this time, and that's the way it goes. I've been known to do this as well. I try not to, but I just have a high metabolism. Bushwhack has made the joke that I do this deliberately to motivate myself to get to town quickly, and it's not done on purpose, but I can tell you I am highly motivated to get to Leadore, probably more so than anybody else around here. This is Mom and Papa Raven, who have an interesting story in their own right. I'll explain in a minute, but this way apparently there's a bone hole. Everybody knows what a bone hole is. No, but actually on Jonathan Lay's maps he said there's a natural depression where over the course of years in the winters, bison would get stuck down in this hole and couldn't get out, so they'd die in there, so it's full of bones. We don't know if it exists really anymore, but we're gonna look at it. I'm sure it's gonna be the most incredible thing on the entire CDT. Well, the Ravens are a very nice older couple who are not braggadocious at all, but casually have triple crowned already with their kids, one of which was like 12 years old at the time, which I don't even think they care or have looked into it, but that might be the youngest person who've ever triple crowned, like with their own gear, carrying their own items and stuff, which is crazy. As we get closer, there's no obvious bone hole, but there's a trailer in there that could very easily be filled with many human bones. It's been elusive, but I think this might be the bone hole. Ooh, I could see getting stuck in the hole if I were a bison. It's pretty far down. I actually might go down in here. I'm gonna have to go down here. There's no other choice. I have to verify the veracity of the bone hole claims. Oh yes, there are many bones down there. It is real. Many a creature hath died in here. I'm sure there'll be a nice archaeological study of this place before the bulldozers mining that limestone up there destroy it, won't there be? All right, I'm done reporting from the bone hole, so I'm gonna have to find my way out of here before I turn into calcified bullshit myself. We dropped our packs before coming over there, and I'm glad we did. This is kind of nice, but we were kind of reticent at first, but the bone hole was worth it. Everybody should go to the bone hole. Between my appetite and the bone hole, I'm starting to look at these cows that are scattered around a little bit differently. If I would have seen one of y'all in the bone hole, either freshly dead or slightly still alive. I might be eating ribeye right now. Are you the chosen cow? This is a new one. Probably can't see it in video, but it's raining. And there is nothing above me. There are no clouds up here at all. In fact, it's sunny. Very hot. This is our actually magnificent campsite tonight. It's pretty cool. We're up in the small stand of trees above the rest of the desert down there. But the important thing tonight is that we've just ascertained that Clover did not, I in fact repeat, did not make it into the bone hole. Do you have any explanation to the viewers on why you didn't make it into the bone hole?
What the fuck is a bone hole?
The bone hole is a place on a cliff over there across the valley where the rocks separated from the bluff itself, and about 1,000 bison have fallen in the hole and died over the last 2 years.
Really?
Yep.
Fuck. Was it off trail?
Yeah, like a little bit, but yeah, he missed the bone hole.